Namaste, yogis. I decided to do a little short practice today, and I'd love for you to join me. The thing I love about practicing yoga and what a great tool it is it's just getting on the mat and connecting to yourself and recharging your body, centering, getting all the energy flowing. It's an amazing system. And once you have a vocabulary of the asanas, you can do it anywhere in a hotel room. It doesn't take much room to roll out a mat. And in fact, honestly, you don't really even need a mat. So there are no limits. Here we go. I think we'll start at an easy forward bend today. So just bend the knees, hinge right at the hip, and hang down. Cradling the elbows can be nice. Let the head drop as though it's a heavy ripe fruit, and just you can sway a little bit. Deepen the breath. Feel that inner wave quality of the breath. So you're inhaling along the spine. You'll feel a little lift of the heart, and then exhale. Hollow out your belly like you're trying to carve space in the low belly. And notice how that helps you kind of get a little more into the balls of the feet. Send the sit bones up. You can bend the knees more if you're feeling tight today. The more you breathe, the more your body will soften into its best edge. Everybody's a little different. And then just hang down. Turn your head a little bit right and left. Checking in with the jawline and the base of the skull where we accumulate a lot of tension. And breathe. And we'll roll up for this first coming up. So we usually come up either with a flat back or rolling up. Now we're doing rolling up. So take a couple of shoulder circles, letting the light and space into the heart area with deep breaths. And reverse it. Just getting some energy flowing in these areas where we tend to be tight. And I like to do a little gentle wrapping. So swing, we call it empty arms. Just swing. You're actually slapping the kidney area in the back. So keep your loose wrist, elbow, a little bend in the knee so your whole body is involved. And it's just a nice release. Just getting the body ready to move through with a structured asanas. All right, so we'll take a C series. Inhale, lift up, 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 up. Just a little back bend. And then heart lifts, over with the flat back, catch the fingers, stretch, 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 stretch. Lift the chest, bend the knees. You can put your hands down here. But if you can step back with no hands, that's fine too. That's great to practice your balance. Lower the knee and lift the chest. And here we'll take some arm circles as well. Just, again, opening. Go gentle. And if you want to do one arm at a time, you can do that as well. Just sort of feeling into all the spaces and breathing. Honor your body today. Come back and make your way to downward facing dog pose. Balancing on the hands, balancing on the feet. And you can sort of pedal your feet. As you put the heel down toward the floor, push, not with your hand, but just feel you're pushing the thigh bone back into the hamstring. So you're making more space between the top of the thigh bone and the hip. Let some light and space into those hip sockets, sending the tailbone up, open the calves, root, 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 and push, push, push through the width of the hand, as though you're making a nice even print in wet cement. Come forward, holding a strong core. Slink yourself into plank. Look forward, not down. Lengthen your tailbone. I'm putting my knees down. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale. Just use your back muscles. And again, a little turn of the head. Pushing down through the shoelace side of the feet. Breathe the heart open. Curl into the toes. Up you go with the hips. Stretch back. Then look forward. The right foot stepped back, so the right foot will go forward. But we're on the other leg, of course, now. And breathing. Gossamer threads of light into the body. Opening, opening, opening. Come back to standing at the front in a forward bend with your hands catched behind the back. If you're feeling warmed up, you want to straighten the legs, you can make them sturdy. I like to take an extra breath there. You can take an extra breath anywhere. You can always take more breaths. Always a good idea to take more breaths. We'll lead with the left leg. Stretching. Maybe you go a little further because your spine is warming up. Exhaling. Left leg back. Step it back. Just one breath coming up. Step back to down dog. Slink forward and lower. Breathe the heart open. Pull from the belly. Press the thighs. Step forward and lower. Breathing the heart to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Stretch. Samastiti. Let's take an A. Just a short practice today. Lift the heart. Right into plank. You can hop into chaturanga if you're ready for that. I'm nursing a shoulder injury, so I'm taking it cautiously. Always a good idea to practice in a way that you could practice every day with no injury. Because we want this practice to be with us right up to the end. We might have to modify a little bit. Here's your chance to lengthen the breath and balance the inhale and exhale. Fine-tune your alignment to get into a nice balanced place between strength and ease, stillness and action, receiving and letting go. With each exhale, a little more emphasis on the bandha action, which is these areas of muscle contraction. One is at the perineum, that's the root lock. Then we scoop up into the navel, Uddiyana Bandha navel, upward lifting lock. But we also have the hands, that rooting action down into the hand to reverse the flow of energy up the arms, and the same thing with the feet and legs. Make your way to the front. You certainly can hop. Inhale into Ardha Uttanasana, that little lift and fold that we always do on the way in and on the way out of Surya Namaskar A and Surya Namaskar B and variations of those poses. Let's go right into a B series. Started with C, went to A, now we'll do B, which starts with chair. Come on down. Settle back into your heels like you're a skier. Good. And then lift your belly off your thighs without coming out of your seat. Spin your triceps forward and lift your heart. Your palms can be together or open. They can be nice and wide if your shoulders are tight. So you want ease in this area. And then exhale, fold. The breath lifts the heart. You make your way back. You inhale. Upward dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog, right foot forward. Push your back heel down and lock your heels in like you're spinning them to the midline of your mat. This helps to square the hips and to strengthen that back leg, which supports you as you rise up and you go down, stepping back. Inhale. So sometimes I like to do cobra instead of up dog. It's a little more of a back bend, really. Back heel down. Squeeze your heels to the midline. Lengthen your tailbone to the back of the heel. Pull your left hip back. Lift your belly up. And keep that back leg really strong. Anytime you need to rest in child pose instead of going to down dog, or instead of going through chaturanga with the followed by the back bend cobra or up dog, upward facing dog, you can just skip all that. Wherever you are, you're listening inside, you're connecting. Celebrating your life, celebrating your body, celebrating your breath. And it's really such a gift you're giving to yourself. Even 5 minutes. I'm going to step forward. Inhale. Fold down. Exhale. You can give a little pull if you want, but try not to tense up through here. Sit down to lift up. And then right back to your center. Let's open sideways. Triangle pose actually starts here, Trikonasana. The navel is the center, and you're charging energy down through active feet, toes lifted, charging energy out with the sense of lifting your arms from underneath rather than hanging them from core tired neck muscles. Spin the foot you start on, the foot you're going to lean toward. That's your triangle pose. Utthita Trikonasana now. The extended triangle that we're familiar with. Stretching. Notice that I'm not concerned with touching the floor. I could grab the big toe, but if it means I shorten and crunch up in here, it's no good. We want this length through that lower side of the body. So there's a deep crease here, it's active, the foot is active, I'm pushing down into my big toe and heel. And opening from there, turning from the waist. A strong pressure into that back heel, firming this side of the bone. And then the tailbone will come in a little bit toward the pubic bone. A couple more breaths. Light and free. So you're so sturdy through here. Notice it's not tense sturdy, it's just you're stable, and you can open through here. Coming up, seamless shifting of the feet. Lengthening out, leaning and opening. And as you breathe, you're feeling how you can optimize this opening, how you can make more length and space in your body, more light to come in. Come up with an inhale, we'll go right into the twisting version. So spinning again, but now turning the torso all the way around to face that leg that you rotated toward, and adjusting this back leg so the toes point like 30 degrees, and that arm will go up. Out and over to your twisting triangle. And you're pulling that right hip back. You want the pelvis to be fairly level unless you have lower back issues. And you're really pushing into that back heel. If your neck feels okay, you can look up. It's not the goal. The breath is flowing free, and you're really hollowing out your belly with each exhale. Then we just release. Let's take a runner's lunge here, coming down to a deeper stretch. In your runner's lunge, think of dropping this sacrum and lifting this thigh, and then pulling everything in. Then dropping both hips and lifting the chest. Keeping that back leg nice and straight, pushing into the heel. We'll swivel around to the inner thigh. Only down as far as you can, keeping this heel on the mat and the knee and the foot at the same angle. Always an important point. If you'd like to rotate and get into these hamstrings, you can, certainly, and bringing the hands to Namaste. Rotating around again. Scoot it in. And now we're in Parsvottanasana. So just stretching over that front leg. Fluid wave-like breaths, nice and wide across the back. Lift your heart to come up. Swivel. Swivel, swivel, swivel. Turn that back foot at an angle that allows you to square your hips and shoulders. Take the right arm up. And out we go. Or whatever that arm is for you today. Other side. Squaring the hips. Bring some ease to your effort that allows for deeper breathing and more feeling, more receptivity that teaches you where to go, how to really be open and free. And then we'll take the hand down, rotate, and take it back to your runner's lunge, dropping the front hip, lifting the back hip, pulling both legs into the midline, and then dropping both hips together. It feels so good to stretch the body. It's like letting light in. Letting prana flow freely changes the way you think and how you feel and how you manage your emotions. Swivel it back around, shorten the stance. Come up through the flat back. And this time we'll just step to the front of the mat, but open into a little bit of a goddess pose, coming on down. Elbows to the inner knee. So we're just doing a short practice today, sort of putting the body through its paces, getting things flowing. 5 breaths in, your boat pose. You do know that the smile is part of this pose, right? And you're holding yourself up from the strength in the low belly. Cross ankles. Hug in. Now I'm going to put a little toe on the mat. A little bit of a cheat because my shoulder's just not quite up to lifting my whole body weight yet. But just connecting into that core strength, which will eventually lift me off the floor with no feet. You know, you just do what you do. There's no judgment, and it's not a goal. It's not a competition. It's where am I today? With love, with pushing a little bit, seeing how far you can go. And that's how far you go. Maybe tomorrow it's further. Come down to your back for bridge pose. Take the time to get stationing your feet so they point forward, knees pointing forward, wide across the sacrum, shoulder blades down the back. Nice deep breath into the belly, which actually really means that you are allowing this diaphragm to move by filling the lungs. And then as you exhale, you're engaging root, navel, peeling up, coming to balance on the feet. If you can interlace your arms, do so. You could take robot arms. You could open your robot out. But try not to have any weight on the base of the neck. There's a little space between the shoulder blades. You could slide a little feather in that little space. Stretch up, 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 favoring a little more into the big toe side of the feet, keeping the sacrum wide, and then rolling down waist before tail. Drop the knees, wrap the arms. Give yourself a little hug here. Opening out in cactus. Certainly do another back bend if you like. Urdhva Dhanurasana if you're warmed up. I'm still not practicing that because of my shoulder. Drop the knees to one side and gently bob by pushing into this top leg heel. Let your whole body bob with the hip bobbing. And then bring that top leg up a little higher and use the opposite hand for a little traction to stretch through the hip and low back. Mostly this is about breathing. Slowing it down, feeling the wave rise from the delta of the sacrum and flow up the open side of the body. Come to your back. Give this knee a squeeze. Extend the other leg long. And then open that knee out a little bit. Not till you're tipping off this hip. Just till you feel a stretch to the groin. And you're lengthening this other leg. So you're not buckling it up, but pushing the heel out. And then bring both knees in, do a couple of circles. Feel into your lower back. What's going on with it today? I'm feeling a little tweakiness on my right sacrum. Who knows? Sat too much yesterday maybe. Drop over, even yoga teachers have to spend time on the computer, especially if you're like me and you lead teacher trainings and you have curriculums to write, etc. Joyful work. Gentle bobbing, easing out the kinks, and then bringing that top leg up a little higher, using the opposite hand for traction. This arm can be whatever angle works for you, really. Just find that place. Breathe deeply. Squeeze the belly like you're bringing out a towel. On your exhale, of course. And then bring the knee into the chest and extend the other leg long as though you're standing on it. Those toes flex straight up and down. Open it out to the side. Turn the head the other way. Make sure you're not tipping, and press the back of that extended leg thigh toward the mat. Feels so good. And again, we bring both knees to the chest. Now, if you'd like to take a shoulder stand or a headstand sequence, feel free to do so. Otherwise, do like I'm doing and go right into your Shavasana and say, you know what, thank you for that little bit of effort you made for yourself today. And it wasn't actually little, because just the tiniest effort in the right direction gives so much momentum toward your own self-fulfillment, self-realization, self-knowledge. What a joy to be alive. Stay here as long as you can in a conscious rest, releasing to gravity, even the eyes, the jaw, the tongue. Let your shoulders release their burdens into the earth and your hands release their grip. And just enjoy the embrace of gravity. That pull of the earth from which you came. Actually, when we surrender to her, she recharges our battery. Let your mind drift in the gentle rhythm of your spontaneous breath, rising and falling, rising and falling. Enjoy that soothing rhythm. Sweet surrender, where you feel safe to be vulnerable and open, supported in your uniqueness by the energy that created you as you are. When you are ready to come up, you'll want to move your fingers gently first and deepen your breath. Bring your feet up to roll over, moving efficiently with the least amount of tension you can. Take this bottom arm out and stretch the ear to the shoulder and just rest there. You're really savoring this time you have with yourself, with your own heart. When you're ready, you push the floor away with your hands and come into Sukhasana, your easy seating posture. Sukha means ease. Bring the hands to the heart. And following this theme of light and space, I'll quote Hafiz, awake a while, be kind to your sleeping heart. Take it out into vast fields of light and let it breathe. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today, and I hope to see you down the road. Namaste.